Hello, everyone, and welcome to another four-way featuring Solski versus Croakomire and Ponk versus EvilSparky. So we've got some really excellent players in this match, so this should be pretty exciting. So we're just waiting for one of the runners to ready up. So once that happens, then we should be good to go. And looks like this is one of those infamous ouch seeds. Going from the hash, and oh, and a sizer in there as well, so ouch seeds have just been known to be very trolly and cruel, so yeah, we should expect to see some interesting things from this. Yeah, I know one of the races I did against Gameaholic was an ouch seed. That was the one where I like hell ran to Croakomire and then proceeded to die checking one of the items after Croc. Okay, so looks like we have the countdown, so the runners should be off as soon as the stream catches up. So anyone in chat, you can give your guesses as to what the first item is going to be. For the SMRAT logic, there are four possibilities. It can be Vanilla Morph, Ice Beam, High Jump Boots, or Space Jump. I personally did a couple of offline practice seeds last night, and I got two early ice seeds in a row. Looks like we have Ponk stream a bit ahead of the other streams. Now the other streams are starting. So I guess we'll see on Ponk's side what the first item is. So yeah, you're just gonna have, for the moment, unless the restreamer can sync Ponk's stream, you're just gonna have to realize that Ponk isn't nearly as ahead as it would seem, but it's just Vanilla Morph. So we're gonna get the check of the Alpha Missiles immediately, which is just Vanilla Alpha Missiles. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. Spring Ball in the ceiling. So that's, and power bombs at the beta missile location. So we should be seeing an early Billy Mays check. And we see Ponk setting up for it. Now this early Billy Mays check does consume 3 power bombs, so that was also really interesting. Ponk managing to get a frame perfect jump off the crumble block, so he can just immediately wall jump his way back up without having to hit the ground first. Solski instead taking out the crumble block, and looks like grapple and missiles at Billy Mays. So with that, if our runners find high jump, we could potentially an ice beam. Like, we could potentially be seeing suitless Meridia from some of these runners later on if gravity is in a really troll location. And yeah, definitely very interesting that we've seen a lot of major items thus far. Now, I don't know what is technically logically required to access Billy Mays, if there's any other requirement than just having the power bombs, but having fairly early grapple beam and logic can also point to something important being at Shack Tool. And morph ball bombs at the at the old Mother Brain location. And that is really interesting that Ponk chose, it looks like he chose to skip the ice beam at the Blueprint Power Bombs location. So, because he still has one power bomb coming up the climb. And we have Croakomire doing meme route. So we've got some route divergence here. And Croakomire finding more supers. Okay, so then it is actually a very early grapple beam and logic, so we can definitely expect to see some potential Shack Tool checks. And Croakomire... Oh, Solski taking a death. And it looks like Croakomire took a death as well. I didn't quite see where... Yeah, the early Billy Mays check can be very dangerous because the spikes there, if you fail the jump, do 60 damage. So you basically only have 2 shots at it. Oh, okay, yeah, Croak, I guess, yeah, did not pay attention to his power bomb count. Doing meme route with just 5 power bombs, is kind of definitely very challenging because you have to manage them really well, and especially when you have to do all of these item checks, you have to use a lot more power bombs than you would if you were doing a major minor rando. So, Sparky finally going to see what's at BT. It feels like runners have been checking almost everything else. Find supers at BT. So we see Ponk checking the landing site power bombs. So since our runners have regular bombs, this puts that into logic. And also Sparky fighting BT because with having regular bombs, that is a fight that happens, but having supers, that fight is just ridiculously fast. Almost doesn't feel like a boss at that point. So Croakomire not bothering with Billy Mays. but is going to attempt meme route again and takes another death. This seed has been really punishing. I didn't quite catch what Ponk found at landing site missiles, but he is now going to go for a gauntlet check with zero E tank. So I know Ponk is definitely capable of doing this. He is a very, very strong runner, but it's still a fairly dangerous check. And yeah, in Croak's case, just the those side hoppers do a lot, either 80 or 120 damage, and with no suits, so they pack a punch early, and yeah, if you take a bad hit, you can very easily die. Okay, so it is 80 damage. Thank you, Shala. So Solski gonna pick up his ice beam again. Ponk clearing the back of Gauntlet. Sparky going to show me that it is in fact just missiles at the landing site power bombs. Solski is meme routing. So yeah, Solski definitely probably feels like he's behind and just wants to make up time. It'll be interesting to see what Croak decides to do, and Sparky is going to head over to Upper Red Tower and maybe even doing a moat item check. I don't think he's gonna go to Fantoon with, oh no, Sparky takes a death to one of the sizers, which do a lot of damage. This seed is not being kind to our runners. So, Ponk, I believe, is the first of our runners into Green Bryn. Solski has to farm power bombs. Still hasn't found, like, I think it's like a 2% drop rate from those enemies, and hopefully he does not make the same mistake that Croakomire made earlier, and thankfully he might have been looking to see if that item was power bombs. He's probably gonna be there for a while farming them. Got a reserve tank up at the early supers location, and Ponk getting the quick drop to pick up the energy tank below the bridge. Solski is skipping out on pink and green Bryn star checks and is going to head down Red Tower, most likely. He could be insane and head up, but yeah, he's gonna head down. So supers at the beta power bombs and screw attack at the troll E-tank location. And Sparky takes another death from the side hoppers. And Solski finding Gravity Suit at the X-ray location. So that's going to be pretty huge. And although he will not take less spike damage, he will take less damage from enemies. Which is... And Croakomire looks like he is doing the exact same thing. So, now... both of the top runners have Meridia open to them. Sparky taking a save after his unfortunate deaths in Red Tower. We'll see if he goes for the Beta Power Bombs item again, and looks like he is going to skip it. And Power Bombs at the Spazer location. EvilSparky is going to be very happy to find his energy tank there. Finally have an energy tank. Croakomire still has no energy tanks. So, yeah. This seed has definitely been very interesting so far. Ponk returning from backdooring Spore Spawn's item. Screw attack, you should be able to take care of those side hoppers really quickly. Gets the first try, wave gate glitch. See an E-tank at the high jump location. Croakomire runs past the tube but doesn't break it. I guess the high jump area was hiding all the E-tanks. So we have Croakomire heading into Kraid. Got to pick up the super missile pack outside of Kraid's first. And Solski is looking like he's going to also head into Kraid. Decide to check the high jump area first, which is an interesting decision, given that for all we know Varia could be in Kraid. Wave Beam! The smoky validation item is on the Mo. And Sparky is going to smoky validate his rod. And Croakomire setting up for Kraid quick kill. And fires the super too early and misses it. So now he's gonna be taking Kraid to prom. EvilSparky is making the very daring play to just do an early wrecked ship. His energy is looking a little bit sketchy for that, but we can hope that he... Well, never mind, he finds an E-tank outside of... And Solski also taking Kraid to prom. But then quickly dispatching him. Ponk is going to be very happy with what he finds at X-Ray. EvilSparky making the jumps to the wrecked ship. This is still going to be a very dangerous Phantoon fight. Even with 2 E-Tanks, not having a suit means that Phantoon and his flames do 40 damage, and the health drops that the flames drop only give 20, so it's very difficult to get health back. Croakomire is going to head into Meridia. EvilSparky is going to find Speed Booster in the wrecked ship. Just missile speed locked at Main Street and Vanilla Crab Supers. Solski is going to follow in Croakomire's footsteps. Sparky is about to enter his Phantoon fight, while Ponk leaves the Spazer area. We're seeing the prediction for Varia's suit at bottom right Bubble Mountain. That would make this very interesting. Ponk, looks like took a couple tries to get up to Kraid. Oh no, Croakomire takes a death checking Mama Turtle. Solski going to do a wall jump to find his plasma beam. And oh, that feels so bad. Croak never saved. And Solski picks up his plasma beam, while Ponk heads into his Kraid fight. Just missiles at the right side of for the wall Mama Turtle item. Let's see if Ponk and Sparky takes a death as well. Let's see if Ponk takes Kraid to prom. So far, 3 of our runners have taken Kraid to prom. Yeah, I mean, in Sparky's case, like, that Phantoon fight is very dangerous. And I think it would have definitely been really impressive had he been able to pull it off, but I cannot blame him for taking that death. It's a very dangerous fight. Solski making the gravity jump up Mount Everest. Going to do another gravity jump to make it all the way up. So it'll be interesting to see what Croakomire decides to do with all the information he has. So it looks like he is or was gonna do the okay, looks like he made an attempt at getting Spring Ball and then decided not to go for it. I missed what the item was at the beach, and we'll see in a second what the item was at the watering hole as Solski takes a hit from one of the ouches. So Sparky is going to, it looks like going to, okay, he's just going to open up the door to Hellway for later, and is going to make a second attempt. Okay, no, he is going to go down Red Tower. Ponk finding the E-Tank stash at the high jump location. Yeah, triple E-Tanks. All that, I missed what was at watering hole. It's really challenging to commentate these when all four runners are in completely different locations and yeah. So Croakomire is like really sticking to his guns on this meme route. So Ponk is exiting Ponk is exiting Norfair. Solski looks like he's setting up for a snail clip up to the aqueduct items. This is, I want to say, a pixel perfect trick. I want to say the position of that snail's a bit too high. He's gonna have to like he's gonna have to manipulate the snail's position down. That might be good. No, I think it's too low. Okay, so the first of those items is just missiles. So Solski's gonna go and check one of the sand pits. Sparky is checking the pink Brinstar items. Ponk has just entered Meridia and is going to do the Mama Turtle check. Hopefully not taking a death to Mama Turtle, but he has plenty of E-Tank, so I don't think that that is going to happen. Solski not finding anything good at the sand pit, so he resets. So I suspect he'll check the other sand pit. Croakomire finally picks up his gravity suit, I should say. Solski is going to check the what looks like the right sand pit. And there's a super missile and an E-Tank. And Solski decides he doesn't need either of them. Ponk using grapple strats to make it up Mount Everest. Yeah, I mean, thus far, like, even with that early grapple beam, our runners aren't paying any attention to Shack Tool yet. They may wait until after Botwoon. Solski is farming up for his Botwoon fight. It's very easy to soft lock there because Botwoon's hitbox is kind of dumb. Ponk decides he is going to pick up the energy tank at watering hole. Sorry. Yeah. The one thing is when the Varia logic puts an item like grapple very early into logic, you can tend to assume that it will be required. At least in my experience. Interesting, Solski is going to bring one of the mock droids from the other side of the room to do this mock droid clip. Doesn't quite get it the first time, but looked like he had it there for a second. He might not have been crouched when he was shooting it. Okay, there, he has it now. Ponk saving and is going to check the sand pits, find his disappointment, while Solski enters his Botchoon fight, getting a lot of supers in, and doesn't miss a single one of them. Ponk checking the left sand pit, which Solski reset over, so I suspect there was nothing important there. Just double supers. Ponk might go for that on the way out if he finds Varia, but and space jump at the Botchoon E-Tank. And this time, Croakomire successful in getting his plasma beam. And that check was a lot more dangerous for him because Croakomire did not pick up a single E-Tank. Croakomire just like showing a little bit of frustration in SRL chat with the 20-minute morph comment. Ponk fighting Botchoon with significantly more supers, and Solski about to be the first to head into Dragon. Croakomire picking up the crab supers. Ponk finding his space jump. Ponk deboosting off of the farm enemies in that room. Decides he doesn't need to farm them. And he has more than enough supers to kill Dragon, so that shouldn't be any kind of an issue. And also can do the grapple kill very comfortably. Ponk deciding he does not want the precious supers. Decides they're not quite precious enough. Solski looked like he might have been setting up for a grapple kill, but I think sometimes Dragon just doesn't want to grab you when she's coming to the right. And looks like that's the case again. Solski's getting really trolled there. Yeah, Fry Guy definitely gonna be happy to see Croakomire at least have one E-Tank. Although I think the real way to get to stop giving the viewers heart attacks would be for Croak to actually save somewhere. And Ponk getting the grapple kill. Solski, while I was paying attention to another screen, got the grapple kill. So Sparky getting a reserve tank at the very late early supers location because of the route that he chose to take. But since he did not check X-ray, he still doesn't have his gravity suit. So we'll see if he decides to after going up here, make an attempt at wrecked ship again. But it would be definitely a lot more comfortable if he had found gravity suit. He probably just did not feel comfortable doing the X-ray check with as little health as he had, because those spikes do a lot of damage. Sparky still doesn't know what's at the back of Gauntlet. He's gonna check that. We'll see if Ponk or Solski decide to make a plasma or a shack tool check. Okay, I guess if Sparky did die going to X-ray, then I missed it. So Ponk looks like he is going to go down right sand pit and make the play to shack tool and or plasma, whereas Solski is going to head up to wrecked ship. Ponk will take the E-tank at the right sand pit. Since he's not resetting this, then that, I think, is a decent choice. He now, if he finds charge, he has enough E-tanks for stand-up. So Ponk is making the play to shack tool, so let's see if this check pays off. Solski gonna check the red tower items. I think he's gonna be a little disappointed by what he finds here. Lands in one of the vial plumes. That's always a feels bad, man. Although I always worry about my runs when I don't land in one of them. Like, this is going too well at that point. Getting dangerously low on health and ammo in his Batoon fight. Just has to rely on missiles, and that was really close. And I completely missed what was at shack tool. While watching that Batoon fight. I don't see anything important updated on the tracker. So might have been nothing. And all that, and I missed Sparky getting a CWJ across the Mo, which is definitely very impressive. CWJ is one of those tricks that I can technically do, but it would definitely take me a number of attempts to actually land it. Solski picking up the his wave beam. Croakomire picking up his precious supers. He thinks they're more precious than was it Ponk or Solski who just skipped them? And I saw Ponk in the plasma room. I completely missed what the item was. I don't know. I think, like, if you can get a CWJ, then I don't know. You've always got to just go for that swag tech. And Ponk taking Forgotten Highway up to wreck ship. I'm not convinced that this is faster, but it is definitely nice to see this route taken, because it's not a route you see every day. Some argument in chat over the usefulness of grapple beam. Croakomire takes out Dragon, although the fight was a little bit close, judging from chat's reaction. Solski and EvilSparky are both fighting Phantoon. Since Sparky has screw attack, this should be a much safer fight for him than it was the first time around. But Solski will have an easier time clearing the flames because of his plasma beam. Didn't quite manage to set up the Doppler there because he got hit by a flame. Ponk will soon be heading into Phantoon. Yeah, Solski going for the Doppler attempt there. And finally, we have simultaneous Phantoon kills on Sparky and Solski's screen. Looks like, or I guess from Darkard making the comment that Ponk just tried to check the wrecked ship E-Tank while the power was off. In which case the item is not spawned. It was just missiles at Plasma. And Sparky finding the Spazer. I mean, he hasn't found Plasma yet, so so it does increase his beam damage, but maybe not quite the beam he was looking for. Ponk in his Phantoon fight doesn't quite get the missiles in on that pattern. And attempts to Doppler and just shoots a bunch of missiles into the wall. I guess we can pretend that we did not see that happen. Solski checking the wrecked ship E-Tank item. And decides to pick up those super missiles. He doesn't have a lot of supers, and starting to get to the point of like where you have to think about the fact that you're most likely not going to find charge anywhere. Sparky. So with Solski's equipment, Spiky Room of Death isn't too bad, but with Sparky's equipment, on the other hand, it's going to be a little more dangerous. Sparky going to attempt a spring ball jump, which I think based on the water level is going to be fairly difficult, and his health is also kind of sketchy for doing this. But I want to say he can just do it, get up there with just Speed Booster. Going to give up on the check though. Ponk heading into Spiky Room of not so much death because of what he has. Ponk not shooting the door open before doing that D-boost, so it doesn't get the swag D-boost through the door. Just supers at the right side of Attic that Solski decides to pick up. Croak deciding to go at, or Croak picking up his speed booster. So now we have all 4 of our runners in wrecked ship. After all the divergence that happened earlier. So we will get to see what is at the wrecked ship reserve location. And it's just missiles, so not going to waste any time with that. Croakomire entering his Fantoon fight. And Varia is at the Sky Missiles location, and Solski just has to be able to land that spark or just space jump up there. Looks like he's just going for the space jump strat. So Solski is the first of our runners to get his Varia suit, and should be just a charge beam or ammo away from go mode. Decides to completely skip out on bowling. Sparky is the second to pick up his Varia suit. We'll see if he decides to also skip both the bowling items. Yeah, that is definitely true. If Sparky had been successful in his Fantoon fight that he tried much earlier, then he would have probably had a huge lead from that. Ponk sees his Varia suit will be the third of our runners to pick it up. And Sparky decides he is going to check the bowling items. We'll see what Ponk decides to do. Looks like he is also going to do a bowling skip. As Solski is going to just probably make his way straight to Lower Norfair. Oh, and Croakomire picking up the Spazer when he already had Plasma. And as he reactivated his Plasma Beam, looks like no, based on what his beam looks like right now. So Solski is going to be heading down into Lower Norfair. Croak clearing out the attic. Ponk is also beelining for Lower Norfair. Sparky just finding supers at the gravity location. So I don't think he found anything worthwhile past bowling. Solski taking a save before entering Lower Norfair. We'll see if he decides to check the GT items. Based on the fact that he took that save, or he might have just taken that save for safety. And just given the amount of unfortunate deaths, yeah, nope, he is going to skip the GT items, so did not quite lay that power bomb close enough to that pillar, so he doesn't have to lay an extra powerbomb here. It doesn't so much matter for his powerbomb management here, just because he has way more than enough, but he does wind up taking a little bit more damage than I think he would have liked. Has to super these pirates here not having charge to be able to damage them with his beam. Ponk entering Lower Norfair, and Croakomire finally finding his Varia suit. Sparky going to take the Sloters refill. Shout out to Sloters. I was looking a bit tense on Solski's screen there, because if he had dropped a space jump input there, he would have gone right into the acid. Ponk able to make his way up Worsham in the game much faster because Ponk found Screw Attack, whereas Solski did not, and we'll see if that allows Ponk to catch up a bit. I mean, Ponk and Solski are not technically racing each other, so, but it would definitely be, but it'll be interesting to see, like, if how much Ponk can close that particular gap. Croakomire picks up his second E-Tank. Sparky finally heading into Kraid, having not fought him earlier. I mean, yeah, it is definitely true that Ponk and Solski are definitely both very good runners, and yeah, but yeah, so even though they're not technically racing each other, we can kind of like see this as a like, what if they were racing each other? I mean, in a way they are, because they're in the same SRL room, but as far as the tournament goes, it's Solski versus Croakomire and Ponk versus EvilSparky. Solski, unfortunately needing to farm a number of supers, whereas Ponk already has all the supers he needs, so Ponk already entering into his Ridley fight. And Ponk, like, making that fight just, like, look like a complete joke. So we'll see if Ridley stashed his credit card back here again. Nope, but he instead stashed his boots. And I think, like, all of our runners are gonna be like, that's where that was the whole time. With a lot of movement just being made much more difficult by not having high jump boots. Croakomire on his second Kraid fight takes Kraid to prom again. I did not see how EvilSparky1's crate fight went. Did we wind up 4 for 4 on crate proms? So yeah, Ponk with 55 supers. Yeah, both Ponk and Sparky have enough supers now to kill Mother Brain, as Fry Guy pointed out. Solski and Croakomire both have to pick up a lot more ammo. Ponk and Solski with all 4 bosses down. But Solski's gonna have to do some ammo hunting, or he's just gonna have to get really lucky finding charge. Since it was not Ridley's credit card today. Croakomire going to be heading down to Ridley, unless he just jebaited all of us and is going to do a croc check. Unless he is going to double jebait us and just take that route to Lower Norfair for some reason. Just wanted to take a bit of a scenic route, I guess. Bubble Mountain not scenic enough. Ponk out of Norfair, so just gonna make his way right up to Torian. Solski finding vanilla power bombs in jail. See what is in the Three Musketeers room. Just an E-tank that Solski decides that he does not need. Makes it through the Three Musketeers easily. Ponk getting the nice mock ball escape from Meridia. EvilSparky checking the ice beam location, not finding anything super important there. So we'll see a wave beam check from Solski. Just an E-tank at the wave missiles that Solski does decide to pick up, mostly because it's right in his path. And the wave beam itself is supers. So Solski's going to be basically looking for 3 or 4 more super packs. I would have to do the math to figure out whether he can do it with 3, or he may need a 4th, or finding like 1 or 2 more missile packs as well would mean that he'd be able to do it with just 60 or 65 supers. So we're gonna see speed booster check, where again there's a missile location and the actual speed location. Ponk heading down into Torian. I missed what was at the SMRAT missiles, but I presume it was just missiles or supers. Darkred telling me it was missiles. Croakomire making it up Amphitheater, but does not have a lot of health to play with. He's hoping for an E-Tank at the Fireflea location. And find supers, but he's gonna pick those up too. I missed what was at the speed booster location, but BDSolski is just gonna head his way out of Norfair. And Ponk exiting the Metroid rooms. Oh! Solski finding charge at the speed booster location. So that means that Solski is all set as far as ammo is concerned. Yeah, it's just really hard to commentate a 4-way solo. Like I have, and see everything that's happening on every screen at once. Meanwhile, EvilSparky decided to make the Croc check. Not finding anything important in the cosine room. Ponk not quite getting the baby skip, unfortunately. Is going to open the doors before he refills his health. He has a reserve, which makes this a little bit less dangerous. Solski heading out of Red Tower, as Croakomire is going to be fighting the Metal Pirates. EvilSparky either just checked the grapple location or I completely missed it. Going to bomb jump his way up to the missile location. So again, kind of just looking at Ponk and Solski, Ponk like really was able to make up just a huge amount of time because he did not have to farm before Ridley, whereas Solski had to spend a lot of time farming up supers. Sparky finding X-ray, so he will, if he decides to check Mama Turtle and find his plasma beam, he will be able to microwave Botwoon and Dragon. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to make up the difference between him and Ponk. Yeah, I mean, just based on the routing that everyone went, everyone was in go mode by the time they hit Norfair, and, well, just because of the fact that Varia was at the Sky Missile, so you were only going to be checking it if you, or you'd only, pretty much you were forced to go to Wreck Ship first, and by the time you left Wreck Ship, you were in go mode, so the other runners just had enough ammo that they did not feel the need to check it. Ponk has gotten through Mother Brain 2, is sitting at the cutscene. Solski will have the option of doing stand-up if he so desires. EvilSparky checking the Croc escape item, or never mind, he's checking the cathedral. I'm like totally not in the place that I had thought at the first glance. Croakomire, meanwhile, finishes his Ridley fight. Still with only 2 E-tanks. Solski also missing the baby skip. Croakomire picking up his high jump boots. EvilSparky, being very thorough with his checks here, may very well find his charge beam. And looks like he is in fact heading in that direction. Solski heading into his mother brain fight, going to safety save, which is always a good idea this late in the race when you've seen your opponent has made remarks indicating that he has died at least twice. Might as well just like secure your finish. I mean, then again, even when you see those comments in your opponents make those comments in SRL, you also kind of have to think like there's nothing stopping your opponent from lying in SRL, but even so, now he doesn't have to worry about like, this should be a very safe mother brain fight, but even if he like soft locks during stand up or something, he will have the ability to recover, not lose all of his progress. Ponk getting the moonfall in the Leodox room, going to set up for a spark up the climb. I mean, Solski does have charge beam, so he will be setting up for his stand-up. Sparky, I think, is looking for his space jump, and he's not gonna find it, or his gravity suit, and he's not gonna find it here, unfortunately, because he has not checked X-ray to find his gravity suit. That's the item he's looking for. And Ponk, yeah, saving the animals, and Ponk has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, 19 seconds. GG to Ponk. Very well done. If I recall correctly, I think Ponk was our only runner who did not die during this race, and we'll see if Ponk wants to come in for an interview. And Solski almost done with his stand-up. Looks like he got a pretty decent amount of damage in. Yep, just took a couple of shots in Mother Brain 3. Croakomire also going to pick up his charge beam.
Sure,
and we are joined by Ponk. GG Ponk.
Thank you, thank you.
If you were the only runner to finish deathless.
Oh, well, nice.
Well, this seed gave the other runners a lot of trouble, but yeah. So what were your thoughts on this seed?
My thoughts were that this seed was absolutely terrible. I liked the start. It was kind of fun, like with running around with no energy. Early bombs are always cool in full randomization because it doesn't make like power bomb management absolutely terrible. But various suit really messed me up. Like I was debating to go to Wreck Chip just because of that grapple beam and bombs, but I thought after getting gravity, I was like literally going down to X-ray saying like, okay, if I find a suit here, I'm not going to Wreck Ship, and then it was gravity, and I was like, okay, yeah, it makes way more sense not to go to the Wreck Ship right now. And then like speed is there and barrier is there, and it's just like, ugh. Made this like it dragged this so much longer than it had to. Like this could have been like a low 50, but it's like a mid 1 now. So that was kind of annoying. I was complaining a lot on my stream while I played this.
Yeah, so meanwhile, Solski finishes first place in his race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 48 seconds. But yeah, definitely with all the stuff in Wrecked Ship and just the fact that the seed didn't seem to push you in that direction, yeah, it definitely was a bit trolly. Yeah, Sparky did try to make an early play to Wrecked Ship, but unfortunately he died to Fantoon and then decided to go the opposite direction. He's only going to find his gravity suit now.
Yeah, the seed was pretty rough. I was a little surprised that no one finished before me. I felt like everyone who would go Wreck Ship first would like automatically win this. But yeah, seeing that like everyone else died is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, Croakomire committed to doing meme route, and I think he soft locked once, and then he died to one of the side hoppers, and yeah, he had a very rough time.
So where was Charge Beam?
Charge Beam was at Speed Booster, so yeah, it made sense that you were in go mode by that point, so you wouldn't be checking it.
Well, alright, I think that was like the third time that I played this. I was a little bit confused. I should really like look up the actual settings of this. Just like at some point I didn't know what was in logic and what wasn't. And I was also not sure like if the Wreck Chip E-Tank item would be there before like Fantoon is dead, so I got confused a little bit, but it was alright. I think it could have gone a lot worse overall.
Yeah, it was also an ouch seed, and so I was already like the ouch seeds tend to be really trolly.
Yes, they do.
So, looks like we will also be joined by Solski in a moment.
Alright, thanks a lot for commentating. And yeah, I'm not sure. Do I already know who I'm gonna race next? I'm not keeping up with the bracket as much as I should. But yeah, good luck for the other two racers that are still racing, so later.
Yeah. Yep, so Croakomire is in Turian now. Which, I mean, yeah, still managing to finish this quickly when he took so many unfortunate deaths. I mean, that is still pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, Ponk is just like one of the best players in this tournament, so even just on movement alone, he will he has a huge advantage. Yeah, Croakomire has every beam because he did pick up Spazer when he already had Plasma. So we are so far 0 for 3 on baby skips. Although Croakomire did not find his high jump boots behind Ridley, so yeah, this will also be interesting because yeah, Croakomire has only 3 tanks, although he does have at least 1 reserve, so that will at least give him a slight amount of safety. And we're joined by Solski, GG Solski.
Thanks.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts on this seed?
Imagine dying in both your races. that was rough in the beginning. Missing the spring ball item, I think 4 times, and then at Bryn's ceiling, and then dying to the giant hopper. I wasn't expecting the giant hop. He usually does a little short hop for me on ceiling, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, basically all of the runners except for Ponk died at least once in this. So, and Croakomire had a really, really rough go of it because he committed hard to meme route. I think he soft locked once and then died once again, and then he died later to Mama Turtle and hadn't saved anywhere. So,
that's unfortunate.
yeah.
So I probably was right around where he was when he died. Then I would imagine.
Yeah, I think you both had made similar plays up to that point. So yeah, I think it was basically like, once Croakomire took that death, like that put you pretty far ahead.
Yeah. But I see he's caught right back up though. He's at a mother brain now. So.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, still pretty impressive for him to still catch back up. I mean, he skipped a lot of E tanks and other safeties, but still, yeah.
Yeah, that was like the final decision in the game for me too. Just pathing out where I want to go for items. And I finished lower north there. I was still like low on supers, and I was like, hey, let's keep checking for supers. I knew there were 10 more in Meridian. That was going to be my emergency fund, I guess, to be in go mode. And then lo and behold, our friend the charge beam popped in that speed location, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it was because definitely finding that was definitely helpful. Yeah, I want to say well, I know Croak also found it. And Sparky also found charge beam. It just wasn't lit up on his tracker. Yeah, so other thoughts on this seed, the race, the tournament?
Not really. Just a good game again at Croakomire. I imagine he's probably favored to win this one, so it was a little surprising that it went 2-0 my way, but that's randomizer. It happens. And it looks like, well, other than the deaths, he still had a pretty solid run. So just good games to him, and thanks for hosting.
Yeah. And Croakomire is now entering his escape. As EvilSparky makes his way up worst room in the game. Still never found his space jump. which was somewhere fairly early on. I forget exactly where it was, but oh, that was the Batoon E-Tank item. So yeah, that's why Sparky doesn't have it, but still manages to make it through Amphitheater really easily. It's especially without having high jump boots, Amphitheater can be a really difficult room to get through, but he does make it through like basically yeah, not ever dipping a toe into the acid. I yeah, and looking at Sparky's screen, I missed Croakomire. Unfortunately, missing the Behemoth Spark, getting the so-called Zenny Spark. Croakomire saving the animals. Sparky making his way down to the Metal Pirates. Croakomire just getting the swag Alcatraz during the escape, which is significantly more difficult than getting it at the beginning of the game. And Croakomire has finished in third place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, 23 seconds. GG to Croakomire. Was definitely yeah, did not he had the early deaths, but he recovered from that really well. So yeah, definitely well done for him for still pulling it through even after he took all those unfortunate deaths. So we'll see if he decides to come in for an interview. Sparky, it looks like he's farming up supers for the Ridley fight. Okay, Croakomire not going to go in for an interview. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, GG to him. Yeah. I imagine, yeah, I mean, he did definitely pull it through, but he's definitely probably very frustrated with his, with the deaths he took in this seed. And Sparky is in his Ridley fight. So opens up with a few supers. Ridley does turn around there, so Sparky can get quite a few supers in at this point. Gets one of them hits the tail, but Ridley's looking very red. Just a few more supers should do it. And yeah, Ridley's down. So Sparky just has to kill Dragon at this point. EvilSparky picking up his high jump boots, probably wishing he was able to find them much earlier. Yeah, so Let's see. So Ponk had a 45% item collection. Solski with a 40%. We'll see what Croakomire's was. I imagine it'll be a little less because he skipped so many E-tanks. %. Yeah, so definitely impressive for him to, like, yeah, I mean, he had a lot of close fights there, but like when you're behind and you're trying to catch up, you kind of need to sometimes take those risks. So, yeah, it looks like Sparky's not gonna check any items on the way up. He has way more than enough ammo plus having charge, so he's not really likely to check anything else. He'll probably eventually, when he gets after botching, he'll probably see that space jump and wish he had it much earlier. Not quite getting the spin jump there on the first try to break those platforms with screw attack. Eventually gets it, and out of lower Norfair. So yeah, now Sparky's gonna head up to Meridia. Probably just gonna rush right up to Dragon and yeah, finish the seed out. I imagine he's gonna skip the Mama Turtle check, which means he unfortunately will not find his plasma beam, but he has way more than enough supers to make up for it. Almost runs right out of the room without breaking the tube. Yeah, Dragon skip is not an option in this randomizer. So, yeah, with this beam combo, I was gonna say I didn't think that Sparky needed to farm or anything, but I guess he's gonna check the aqueduct items, which he's not really gonna find anything besides ammo that he doesn't really need. But they are quick checks. I imagine maybe he was just looking for plasma, which unfortunately at this point he will not find. Going to just use charge shots on Botwoon. Although he doesn't have ice turned on, so this is gonna take more than the normal 10, because his beam combo does 210 damage instead of 300 damage. It's gonna... Unfortunately, he has missed a bunch of his supers. He connects one there. I think it's just one more shot. Yep. And Batoon is down. And runs right past the space jump. And deciding to go back for it. It will make it easier to get in and out of Dragon. But yeah, definitely now having to do all these space jumps across this, or spin jumps across the sand is going to take a bit of time. So Sparky in his Dragon fight has like all the options open to him in the world as far as how he wants to fight Dragon. Looks like he's gonna go for a grapple kill. Yeah, I guess the only option he does not have, he would not have open to him would be microwaving, because again, he did not pick up the plasma beam. And gets the grapple kill. So with that, EvilSparky can just head right on up to Turian. He may choose to do a ship refill just so he has full supers, because with the beam combo he has, the a charge shot kill on Mother Brain would take 60 shots. I suppose while we're just waiting for Sparky to make his way towards Turian, looks like according to the schedule, this is the last game for today. and then tomorrow, looks like J-Chalk and Poplars will be playing all of their matches right in a row, which will be okay. I guess we'll. So then there's a possibility that they may have their next match immediately after this one. But yeah, so tomorrow, yeah, J-Chalk versus Poplars at 2 p.m. Eastern should be a very EvilSparky murdering the Ponk fish in cold blood. How dare he do such a thing? Yeah, meanwhile, yeah, so yeah, that J-Chalk versus Poplars, like, that should be a really exciting matchup. And yeah, actually, that's the only thing or actually, sorry, that's not scheduled for tomorrow. That's scheduled for Monday. Wow, I can't. I can't do math, apparently. And Sparky refilling at the ship. So choosing not to take the save, which, yeah, the likelihood of anything happening in the Metroid rooms is fairly low, the save. So if he's gonna save, then saving right before the Mother Brain fight is the better location to save. Just gonna shoot all these pirates. He had supered the door to Turian open earlier, so he can just open it with a beam shot and make his way down into. Sparky using missiles on that Metroid. Wants to just be absolutely sure that he has full supers. To be honest, I'm not sure that with the fact that he has charge beam that that is completely necessary, but still, goes through, takes a little bit of time, but knows that he has the 60 supers that he needs to just kill Mother Brain with supers. And even then, he has missiles as a backup. And yeah, it is definitely true that, yeah, using supers is the fastest method. It's just that it's a question of like whether you have to do a few charge shots, or you takes a little bit of extra time in the Metroid rooms to make sure that you stay at full supers. EvilSparky gonna refill his health and missiles there. Yeah, I guess the other thing is whether, I presume that EvilSparky is comfortable with Zeb Skip, but we will see. He did use supers on the boss door and that door, and yeah, it looks like he's setting up for his Zeb Skip. Except if he wants to do a spin jump Zeb Skip, he needs to turn off screw attack. Yeah, yeah. Looks like he almost got the down back skip there. That would be really cool if you can pull that off. Yeah, he is choosing to reset the room every time. It is possible to set it up without resetting the room here, but if he decides that he likes to shoot it from the bottom as opposed to by crouching and shooting from above, then yeah, he's gonna want to reset the room to not lose all of his health. Yeah. I find it's easier to do the down back Zeb Skip starting from a crouching position, although I don't think that's completely necessary. Yeah, and Sparky does have enough to just break the Zebs, but he would have to refill his missiles again, or he would have to use some charge shots on Mother Brain. Okay, looks like his switching strategy is to attempt a speed Zeb skip. Doesn't get it though, so he's gonna go back to just doing the down back strat. Yeah. Also, Sparky is losing some health by continually retrying this. Yeah, this is definitely a very tricky skip, and I know I've had my fair share of difficulty getting it. So yeah. So I cannot blame him for having difficulty with it. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, at least for me, it's like some days I will have this like 100%, and there he gets it. So, yeah, huge well done to EvilSparky for getting the down back Zeb skip there. Not choosing to freeze the Rinkas, which would make them spawn less often. But with Screw Attack, you can also take care of them fairly easily. Although, when you kill the Rinkas, they instantly, without freezing them, they instantly respawn. And when you freeze them, what it really does is just overrides the respawn timer with their freeze timer. Unfortunately, EvilSparky missed a couple of supers there, but he has plenty of missiles to use as a backup, and he also can just use charge shots. He does have to be a little bit careful here. He is in catch-up phase now. He doesn't have to use some missiles there. Watch out for at least one more catch-up. But he should be good. Maybe he has to do one. No, he's completely good. Just needs to damage himself down a little bit. And now we're in cutscene time. EvilSparky getting refilled by the Metroid, and we're about to witness the saddest moment in video game history, as the Metroid, who is trying to help you, just gets obliterated by Mother Brain. Rip baby Metroid. But now Samus can just unleash the rainbow onto Mother Brain. EvilSparky just choosing to use lag corner strats here, which, although slow, it is the safest way to do this fight. Because you pretty much aren't going to take damage from doing it. EvilSparky just spring balling around the room while he waits for Mother Brain to go down. And now in the escape. With Screw Attack, can just trivially wall jump up this, up the first part of the Leodox room. Takes French fry from that one, what I think Kenny calls the "get off my lawn" dude. Setting up for this right side spark. Up the climb. And we'll see what EvilSparky decides to do about the animals. And looks like EvilSparky is heading down. Hesitates for a second. Looks like he's just going to taunt the animals, but then jumps into the room. And then waits for the acid to rise a little bit before actually opening the wall and saving them. And yeah, with that, EvilSparky has finished in second place in his race with an official SRL time of 1 hour 48 minutes. GG to EvilSparky. We'll see if he decides to go in for an interview. And we are joined by EvilSparky. GG EvilSparky. I guess he might just be muted. Alright, I guess even though Discord is showing him in there and he's just, I guess he's still connecting. But yeah. Let's see. EvilSparky in here now. Guess Discord isn't working for him at the moment. But yeah, Sparky was like, he was kind of taking the best route, but just unfortunately with not having a lot of E-tanks and not having either suit, just that Fantoon fight is really difficult, and he just could not get it on his first attempt, so he only managed to get it so basically he wound up doing the full Brinstar clear and then finally got it. Okay. Yo, EvilSparky.
There we go.
Okay, GG.
GG's.
So, thoughts on that seed?
Ugh. That early game was not great.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ouch seed. There was an ouch in the hash, and that is always tended to be to mean interesting things. Chat is saying your volume's a bit low.
I will turn that up.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I think like you early on almost had the right route going. It's just that unfortunately that Fantoon fight is very difficult with. I think you went in with 2 E-tanks and no suits.
Yeah, and like 10 missiles. I was like, oh man. If I could have just like nailed that early Fantoon play, that would have put me on a good track. Getting that very that speed booster, I would have been able to just go straight down and take care of business.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you were not the only one to take early deaths in this. Everyone except for Ponk took an early death, or or multiple early deaths.
It was intense. I couldn't believe I was getting one-shotted by those green crabs every time. I was like, no, why?
Yeah, they do, I think, 80 damage with no suits. Like, there are a lot of enemies in that part of the game that just do that. Like, in a normal any percent run, you're like, yeah, they hurt a little bit, but they're not too bad. And then you're suitless and they hit you for 80, and and yeah. If you're not expecting them to hit for that much, then can be a huge problem.
For sure. And I can't believe I skipped out on X-Ray the first time. I was like, oh. I mean, I did on purpose because I was like trying to take that gamble because, I was trying to make a lot of gambles because I was facing Ponk, and Ponk's a real G, So it didn't pay off for me this time.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate because that gravity suit, basically, I think the 3 other runners found that gravity suit very early on. But yeah, I think Croakomire and Solski went meme route out of basically going right into Green Hills early on. And Ponk, I think he didn't go meme route, but he went the normal Bryn Star clear and then went and checked X-Ray fairly quickly.
For sure. Yeah, I ended up doing a lot of bomb jumps that were just unnecessary. Well, except for Horse Room, but that was all I had.
Yeah. And then I think you were still like very thorough in your checks in Norfair. Were you? Because I think at that point you had like 60-60. Were you just like looking for charge or were you just looking for like high jump or space jump at that point?
Yeah, mostly something to get me through the lava dive. I was mainly just looking for gravity suit or something because that's all I need. But
oh yeah, because I forgot. Yeah, you were the only one who didn't have gravity suit at that point. Yeah. So yeah, it was unfortunate that you had skipped that check before going down into Norfair.
Right, and then space jump was in Meridia, and boots were the Ridley prize. So it was like that was the way to do it. But not too bad. I mean, it could have been worse. Kind of found the rhythm after I got that gravity suit.
Yeah. Yeah, still like, I mean, I think, some of that early routing trolled you a little bit, but you pulled through and finished it, so, definitely well done. And so it looks like you're going to be playing the second match right after this.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yep. Good luck to you on that match. Any other thoughts on this seed?
Not really. I was really hoping to get plasma early so I could do some microwaving, but it was on Mama Turtle, and I was like, oh well, I guess we're gonna miss that. I saw
because I bet when you found that X-ray scope, I think I bet you were hoping you would find plasma along the way.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I always knew that it'd be okay because I had grapple anyway, so Dragon wasn't gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, and failing that, you had like a very large number of supers, so yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate the commentary.
Yep, and GG again.
Yep, fingers crossed for the next one.
Okay, so yeah, looks like yeah, we'll be setting up for the next one. I will not be commentating the next one, so well, yeah. So I guess with that, I will sign off. May you not find your Varya suit at Shack Tool, and see you next mission. And stick around for the Ponk versus EvilSparky game 2.